Good morning, everyone. I hope you are starting with a good day. Uh, so today we're gonna have this one animations with Python. I hope my audio and visual everything is clear. So let's check the chat box. So everyone is saying good morning. We have currently one concurrent viewer till now. I'm gonna take this chat box somewhere. So yeah, and today in the AI and IoT and machine learning there will be no activity. So I guess there is no need to join the meet. So anyway, if you want to join the meet, I'll share you the link here. So if you have any other queries that you want to show your screen somewhere or um, something like any error in the program or any other issue, please let me know, and this will be the meet link. Actually, in the YouTube stream, we can't paste any kind of links there, so only the text is going on here. So I'll just text the meet ID and pin it. So if anyone wants to join, yeah. So this is the meet ID. I'm gonna pin the meet ID here. I'll just put meet ID. Meet ID. So this is the meet ID that I have pinned here, and we have currently 7 viewers going on. So I guess it's a good start. Let's good to go. Yeah, and animations with Quarky, animations with Python. Today I'm gonna present the screen. Yes. So we already covered this backdrops, costumes, functions to control the sprite activity like walking, tobe activation. These all activities have been covered already. Then we have backdrops and costumes topic. So here we have in Python. So backdrop is nothing but any one of the many frames in the background. So if you are doing an animation, so I would like to repeat the whole process. So if you are recording a video or you are creating any animation, there are multiple frames, right? So backdrop is nothing but a thing which we use in the background. So something which can be presented in front of an object or a character, right? So the stage can change it looks to any other backdrop, just like we have a stage and we are changing the backdrop so that it will feel like the scenes are changing, right? So yeah, and choosing a backdrop is like you can choose a backdrop from the backdrop library or uploading a file from computer or creating one using the paint editor. So you can do all these things. So click to choose the backdrop and select the backdrop you want. We are choosing a blue sky here today to be walking, and costumes is nothing but a costume is one out of possibly many frames or an alternate appearance of a sprite. So the sprite can change their look to any of the costumes. So this in the costume block here, uh, this one sprite have multiple costumes like Toby standing, Toby walking, walking 2, walking 3, Toby mouth opening just like the Toby is talking, Toby jump. So these are all the costumes that one sprite have. And here how to create a costume. There are 4 ways of creating costumes by consuming from the library, choosing the costume, drawing one yourself using inbuilt paint editor, getting the image or multiple images from your desktop, just like without any background, not the it shouldn't be a rectangle image, it should be a background edited image, so that only the object will pop out. And then taking an image using the webcam. So yeah, and functions to control the sprite are, so here move, this function is used to move the sprite and it takes a certain number of steps forward. It takes only one input, so number of steps are integers. And example, the sprite is sprite Toby, so we are selected the sprite here, and import time, so we are taking the time constraints here. And then the sprite dot move 10 steps, so this is moving 10 units in the plane. So if it is a plane, stage is a plane, if we imagine it's a 2D plane, so have the sprite has to move 10 steps, right? And then time dot sleep equals to 1, so the sleep time is 1, so it's nothing but just like wait 1 second block, right? Okay. And sprite dot move 50 steps, it's a 50, moving the sprite 50 steps, so wait, after waiting 1 second. So this is the move function. So let's do it in PictoBlocks. So open PictoBlocks now. And I have to select Python coding here, Python. So this is the entire stage. So in this stage we have sprite Toby, sprite is already selected. We have to select the backdrop. So I suggest, if anyone is doing with phone or tablet, try to use the external keyboard or something, because in Python program it's not like blocks, right? It has to be typed. So now we have to choose a backdrop of this blue sky. So now I'll put the Toby here on the surface, then have to go to animations, have to copy all of these. So if anyone is typing, you can just put it like this, move 10 steps, sleep, and move 50 steps. So let's run the program. So this is like running 10 steps and wait 15 steps. So this is how you move the sprite. Then functions to control the sprite. So this is, second one is bounce on edge. So if anyone is there, you can note it down. So if bounce on edge is a function, it's to check to see if the sprite is touching the edge of the screen with the move function, and if it is touching, the sprite will point in a direction that mirrors the direction which it was coming. So it uses a line perpendicular to the edge to determine the reflection angle. So an example, so we have go to xy 0 0, so which is the middle coordinate in the plane. So sprite set rotation style to left and right. So this is a rotation style, it will invert, like it will mirror the direction which is was coming. And while 1, so 1 is a test case here, while 1 sprite dot move 3 steps in one direction, and then sprite if there, so bounce on edge. So we'll copy this whole thing and paste it here in the log. While 1, so after while 1 you have to give a tab space. So after creating one loop function, you have to put a semicolon here. So this is the semicolon, I guess it is visible. So after putting one semicolon, so it will enter automatically into a tab space. So this space, It's nothing but, so this space is for the particular blocks. So these blocks, one second. So these two blocks are inside the loop function. So after semicolon, if we put it, it is inside the loop function. So in Python, in writing any script program, you have to follow these. If you put like this, like line to line, it won't work. So this is not a proper way. You have to put like this. So then it will work. So 0 0, and if it's on edge, it is bouncing back. And it is moving continuously 3 steps. So because it is in a loop, right? So I'll put only display and then yes. And now third function is rotation style. So this function is used to change the rotation style of the sprite in the project. There are 3 options for this function. There is one all around. It means the sprite can face any 360 degrees. It is by default. And then left to right, it means sprite can only face left or right, and any other direction which are rounded. So this sprite will also be horizontally flipped when facing left to right in the style. And don't rotate is a function that means the sprite will always faces as in 90 degrees. So only it won't rotate. So only in the sprite will, for suppose this is a sprite. So yeah, I have a pen here. So if this is a sprite, if we put left to right, it means it can face left and right if it is touching on it. For suppose my screen's end is edge touches, and it will flip and will come back. So all around means the sprite can move 360 degrees, right, like this. And don't rotate means, so if it is like going like if you want to rotate it like any other degrees, it won't rotate. It will only move in 90 degrees, any other, like this, only in this position. Then we have the example of switch costume. There is one more. So switch costume is function used to switch the sprite's costume to the specific costume. It will take only the input. So the costume name is string. So costume name is a string. So that's why we are using it in a double quotation. So sprite selected, which is Toby. Sprite switch costume, Toby walking 1. Sprite say Toby walking 1 for 2 seconds. So the purple color 2, this one, this purple color 2 is nothing but how many seconds we have. So let's copy this one and check how it is running. Actually, you don't have to do all this one. Toby's switch costume, Toby walking 1. Let's say Toby walking 1. Now let's run the program. So it's loading. So this is Toby walking 1 and this is Toby walking 2. So yeah, this is Toby. Okay, yes, you can't see it. Okay, now you can see. So I'm running, just look at the sprite. So it is changing the costume, just like moving its hands and legs forward, up and down. So this is how this switch costume function will work. So next, so this next costume, the function changes its sprite's costume to the next one in the costume plane. But if the current costume in the last list, the function will of the loop will it will like iterate to the first. Okay, so it's like a sprite change costumes, like switch costume to any other thing. So here he took Toby walking 1. Sprite says sprite costume of the name means the function, costumes function, costume's name, and it will say the next costume. So let's copy this. So this is also a function, that's why it is like in a loop, like it is like in the iteration. So let's copy the whole program. Actually you don't have to do this because you have activity anyway. I'm just putting it for. So actually you can use a loop function here, like an actual loop. So I am not giving spaces here. I'm not giving spaces in this line. So let's see what happens, whether it turns error or it won't run. Just to look at it. So I'm just directly running the program. So Toby walking 1 is working, and then Toby walking 3, Toby mouth closed, Toby jump. So anyway, it's working. So that's why the loop function. It's not giving any errors. So yeah. So these are 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 costumes that Toby has. And then functions to control the sprites. This is the 6th one. Here there is go to xy. Go to xy we already used, so this is just to put the coordinates. So let's switch it to the backdrop to xy plane. So there is 2 xy grid. So this is 1 xy grid. So that here we can see how many things are there. So x position and y position we have. So this is actually a rectangle here. So in the rectangle, the x, so left to right it is 240 points, and y position, which is up to down, it is 180 to 180. So let's run. So this is a go to is a loop, that's why it got error here in the log. So you can see in the log it is giving some error. Let's the center is 2. So it is giving error in the line 1 itself. So this is not the one, I guess this is the direct sprite Toby. Now it will run. So this is center, this is top right. So if you want to see, this is center, this is top right, and this is bottom left. So this is how we can control the sprite according to the grid, like coordinates 100 100 minus 100. So just like in a graph paper we'll continue, like we'll draw the units, like based upon the unit points we'll draw lines. It's a sine wave, it's a cos wave, so something like that. Now let's do the activity. Okay, in the meanwhile we'll check the comment box. So we have a lot of good mornings. So meet ID we have put, Java check, Amina, yeah, and currently we have 40 viewers and 19 concurrent viewers. So good number, good. So if anyone is there to join the meet, please let me know before in the comment box so that I can allow you guys in the meet. Yes, just closed. So I'll just copy the meet link once again. PIMC. So good morning, Javed sir. Javed sir is there in the meet. This is the first one to do the activity. Good morning, sir. Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you today. So we have the earphone setup. Yes. Javed sir, I request you to talk once. I just want to check my headphones. Can you please? Yeah. So guys, if anyone has a doubt like verbally, you want to speak in the Google Meet, so I can hear today. So if you have any queries, please raise your hand in the Google Meet so that I can give you like a good better inputs or doubts, so I can clarify the doubts. So now it's okay. Yeah. So to be working, so the activity in the activity first we have to select the Toby file. So for that, sprite equals to sprite plus Toby. So I want to like tell you guys that this one this is actually the Python programming, but we are using for animations, right? So in the PictoBlocks, this is a little different from the actual Python programming language. So the starting, the ending, so everything is a little different from the actual Python programming, but this is also a Python where we use it for creating animation, particularly in PictoBlocks application. Okay, so sprite equals to sprite Toby, and then we need to change the sprite's position along the x-axis and y-axis. For that, we need to include go to x5 function. So 0 minus 100 is the left. X minus 100. Minus 100 is the bottom. X and y coordinates. Y coordinate minus 100 is the bottom part of the stage. X0 is the middle bottom. So next we will set up the rotation style to left and right. So after this we need to use the while loop. So basic working of while loop is the condition is evaluated before processing the body of the loop. So once the condition becomes false, the control goes out of the loop. So after exiting the loop, the control goes to the statements where which are immediately after the loop. So since we have the put it like break statement or false statement that we have already learned in our previous classes. So then we have next costume. Next we will have the sprite of the function move, bounce on edge, next costume in the while loop. So this is how the program looks like. So after you can see after while one here this there is a tab space. So this is important, like when or else the program will execute an error. So this line tab space is very important. Sprite move 10 steps, Sprite bounce on edge, and Sprite to the next costume. So this is how it works. Then an animation is created when the costume of Sprite is switched rapidly, but we should have the right costumes as well. So I have to delete all the costumes except Toby walking. Yeah, only so I'll tell you how to do it. And this is the final script. So where the Toby will walk forward and backward. The animation. Let's learn how to design the backdrop as well in this one. So for this I want to download a character of I want to use this as our sprite. So let's look if we can download. This is cannot. Yeah, we can download it. And this is the second one I'd like to download. So let's try with Mickey Mouse. So someone wants to join in the Google Meet. Let's see. Batul Sheikh. Yes. Can join. Concurrent viewers 49. It's okay. Now I will upload one backdrop of I would like to take this one as a backdrop. So I'll save this image to downloads. So now if I want to upload this backdrop, I'll just upload it here, import, and then I'll want to delete Toby. So this is how it looks like, and I want to put text. So and in the sprite we'll upload Mickey Mouse 2 and Mickey Mouse 1. So if we download PNG files, then it won't. So I want to reduce the size to 50, both. So this is a little smaller, so I'll just put 60. I guess. Yeah, this is both are from same size, of same size. So I can put it here. But I want to add it like a costume. I guess let's see if we can add it like a costume or not. I can go to costumes. I want to add this one as a costume here. Yes, I have to upload it like a costume. So I'll just close this one. I will select this and I want to delete this. Upload one costume. Let me check once my stream. Yeah, it's working, but there is a delay. Yes, there is a delay. And this is the second costume, Mickey Mouse 1 and Monkey Mouse 2. These are two costumes of Mickey Mouse. So let's see. So set size to 50, 60. This size is 60. Then yeah, let's go to Python programming. The sprite is Mickey Mouse 1, and now I want to take all this and paste it here. So while 1, so this is the correct line spacing, and I want to put it here. So I'll run. I'm so sorry, guys. We had a power interruption here, so I got stuck in somewhere. But that's okay. Now it technical like the issue is resolved. So now we can continue our project. So here we have all set up the two costumes and the background. So in the background we can write Mickey Mouse in red color. Yeah. CKEY. And yeah, selecting Python programming and this select Sprite. So it is done. Next we will go to the program once. So this is the program. To import time and then sleep. So in vector blocks we have to put this. So this is the program. So for every second it is changing, every 0.1 second it is changing the background, and then it is moving left to right. So we'll just increase the timestamp here. I'm putting 0.3 seconds. So now it will run. So it is changing the animations to left and right. So this is how you can create your own background, like with images, with text, or you can also put your photograph here and everything. Let's check the comment box. Yes, voice is not coming. I guess that is resolved now. Maybe everything is like set up just now, so there is a little delay in stream than this one. So yeah, so this is the program for now, and we have to make the program. So thank you. We have next slide like this. So the next topic we are covering on Python. As animations is done, now variables basics. So we know the variables already, right? So the variables, types of variables and everything. It's not yet set it up. Just check if it's working or not. Is working now. Yeah, so anyway, like most of the basic variables in the programming, data types, algorithm and all these. So we'll do the addition bot here in the activity. So this robot we're gonna take Toby and ask the input, enter number 1 and enter number 2. So Sprite input. So this is how you take input in programming, Python programming. So Sprite input, enter number 1 and enter number 2. So this block uses, like, this is like ask block, ask dot input, enter number 1 and enter number 2, right? So Then we have sprite dot answer block. So if anyone like the user gave the input for any other number, and we have taken the integer input from the sprite answer. So int sprite dot answer. So int is the integer variable that we are taking from the input block, and then so a we are assigning a to int sprite answer, and then sprite input enter number 2, b int sprite answer. So there are two. So I'm gonna type this program. So this is the whole program of additional bot. So let's type the program. I won't copy this, so I'll save this project as Mickey Mouse animation. And the project is saved. So now for this I want to take Aryabhatta as a character, and when does 0. So for this I'll take. So there is one PNG of Aryabhatta. Let's try to take it. So, but there is no. Just to make the program a little interesting. So if you teach kids like this, they will know like who's this and how he is working on this. So you know, right? There is right. In this take, who invented 0. So this is the PNG, I guess. Where is the file I have selected? Yeah, this is a PNG. So I'll save this image and I take it like a sprite, Python, delete Toby, and upload the sprite, and I want to take a background as something like this one, and I'll save image. So I just want to tell you guys that we don't need to use this only those sprites which we have, but we can also take backdrop inputs of whatever we want. So just want to make it a little interesting, right? So this the whole point is to make. So no, I don't want this. So now I want to select. This is the whole mathematics background. The image a little bigger and then adjust it according to our space. Yeah, now we'll program for. So this is the name of the sprite. So that's the extension we have saved, right? So this is the name of the sprite, Aryabhatta remove preview PNG, and then we have the program. So for the sprite we are programming, right? So we'll say sprite dot input enter number 1. So equals to, so every these, so this is where you are getting the input. So this is where you are assigning the number. Okay, so input, so whatever you want to like type the message, I'm taking enter the first number. Okay, I'm just taking this one, and then in that we are taking a, we are assigning this input to the answer. A equals to int the answer, int integer in the bracket sprite dot answer. So it is correct, sprite dot answer, and that is saved in a void. So this is one void where we are saving it, and this is the whole void of the answer. So enter, we are entering into the next one. Similarly, sprite input number 2, and B, we are assigning it to the B. So let's see. Sprite dot input, enter the second number that we want to add to the first number, and B int, it is enter, so it will give you the description. Sprite is a variable of class something answer. So def answer. So actually this is called def answer. Def is like defining the answer here. Def. So we have defined enter number A. If you want to take another number, you can also add sprite input enter numbers, and then C equals to int of that number. Can take one more variable, sum equals to A plus B. So void A plus B. So A plus B, it will work. We don't need to enter anything. And then sprite dot say addition of two numbers is 2. So this say block. So addition of two numbers for 2 seconds. So this number 2 means 2 seconds, for 2 seconds. Sprite dot say sum. Sum is a variable, that's why we are not giving it like a we are not putting it in double quotations, right? So sum is a separate variable. Let's run the program, enter the first number. Arivata is asking, just put it in the right. But it's asking to enter a first number. I'll just give random big number and enter second number. This is addition of two numbers is 5419401. This is how we do the program. We'll run again. So enter the first number, I know this 1001, and the second number is, so the addition of two numbers is this one. Yeah. Okay, I want to put it in this one, and I run the program, and the first number is sum 423, and this one is 569. Addition of two numbers. So this is like this is how we use the enter like input numbers here in the Python program. So if anyone has doubts or queries, you can just put it in the chat box. Vero is referring. Yeah, and currently we have 99 viewers and the stream is running already. So this is the activity of Python. So let's check. The first activity, the basics of variables, like going into deep. So next one is getting started with Quarky. This is okay. In this activity, we're gonna control um, Quarky using the spectro blocks. So I have this Quarky with me, and I have cable so that we can connect it to our system. So you know how to connect Quarky, right? So I'm gonna save this. So addition bot, save it. So this saved file Python. So I have to select the board Quarky and we are connecting it with serial connection, serial communication. So to select the communication port, USB communications. Now the Quarky is connected. Now yeah, let's go into the topic. So in this topic today we have to there is introduction. So Quarky's introduction you already know, displaying emotions and name badge. We are making a name badge, not the movement block. So this is how you connect it. It's already connected. Now yeah, now we have to import time. So import time block, as we want to have a certain time gap between the display of two emotions on Quarky, we are importing this module that allows to work with time in Python. So this is a module, you can say, right? It's a module. So before starting with this module, we need to import time, and then we will be using Quarky in this activity. So we'd also have to write Quarky related functions like this. Quarky equals to Quarky, and for writing these functions we need to define an object of the Quarky in the same manner as we did it for the sprite. So let's know how to define a function for the particular emotion to be displayed on the Quarky. So for defining a function, so this is a syntax. So this syntax of happy emotion will be creating like this: def h appy happy emotion without any spaces, and creating a void is a brackets, like yeah. And for displaying emotions, Quark will be using show emotion function along with the Quarky's object which has been defined in the beginning. So Quarky dot show emotion happy. For now we are ensuring the emotion is displayed at least 2 seconds on the Quarky for the time sleep 2 function.
After a particular emotion is displayed on Quarky, we need to make sure that the Quarky display is clear so that another emotion can be displayed on it. For that, we'll be using clear display function along with Quarky's object. So Quarky.clearDisplay. Now our complete function is displaying happy emotion on Quarky. So it looks like a def happy emotion, defining a function for a happy emotion. Quarky.show emotion happy time sleep for 2 seconds and Quarky clear display. So this is how. Now an important step, which is an order for our 4 functions. We need to work when key is pressed function, which is a part of events palette. So this function ensures that when the mentioned key is pressed, then the function associated with the particular key would execute and display the output. So we need to use events decorator along with when key is pressed function. So events key is pressed up arrow. So our complete function for displaying happy emotion would look like event dot when key is pressed using when key is pressed space function under the events palette, which event decorator define happy emotion and like hash key is also used, hash defining a function for happy emotion. So Quarky and show this emotion time sleep, and in the end we are taking this function calling. Similarly, we have to define the function for angry emotion. So it goes like this: event defining the angry emotion and defining the show emotion of angry time sleep, and then clearing the display, and at the end we are putting calling the function. And just like it, we have sad, we have lovely. So this is the entire block of code. Just for now I'm just taking 2. So LED happy emotion, I'm just taking 2 of the blocks from here. So this is like this. I'll copy the entire code, and we have already. So here first one, Sprite emotion Toby. So import time for the time constraint that we are using in the program. So Quarky equals to Quarky. So this Quarky, we are telling the program that we are using the Quarky robot, and event when key is pressed, when up arrow is pressed while using the keyboard, it is happy emotion. And here you just look at this particular block. So this is one function for showing one emotion, right? So just don't be afraid that there's a lot of code there, but simplify, like break it into pieces. So first, this is all setup is done. Def happy emotion is the function's name, happy emotion. In the function we are taking Quarky show emotion of happy time sleep for 2 seconds and clear the display. So here there are 3 steps where the Quarky shows the emotion happy emotion for 2 seconds, time sleep 2 seconds, and then Quarky clear display. After showing the emotion display will be cleared. So that's it. And then we are calling the function happy emotion function call. So happy emotion function that we have created, that we are calling it in the end of the function that we have defined. We can also put all this calling at the end also, right? And we are creating one more event. So this is another event where the key is pressed down arrow. So this function will work, angry emotion. We are calling the function here in the 15th line. Similarly, the sad for crying, and for right arrow we show love emotion. So let's see how it works. For line 1 we don't need Toby. So for Toby, this is the right one. even for happy, angry, everything. So here we can do one thing. If you put Control F and search for this one, sorry, this is a comma. No, this won't work. Okay, I'll just have to make sure that every block of this, I'll change this to this one. So again we have to delete all this. So in the program, so everything we have to make sure that we are using only these kind of quotations. So traceback error, most recent calls of file in line 7. There is one time sleep has lot of spaces. Yes. So now it is sorted. Yeah, everything is in line space. So sometimes when you copy also it is time dot sleep to motion angry. Time dot sleep to, it's correct. Quarky clear display. So I just want to put till, okay, sorry, in the line 7, sorry. So I didn't see it. This does not match any indent. So indentations, so indentation is nothing but it's a space. Yeah. In line 6 we have 1 T. Yeah, now it's working. So I just want to stop the program. Happy, angry, sad and love. So now the program is working good. So I just want to, if you want to change it, when I press the arrow keys also it will work. So when I press up arrow it is taking uh, happy emotion. When I press down arrow it's taking angry, left sad, right is heart. So this is how you can control the emotions for every 2 seconds. Yeah, this is how you can control Quarky and checking the events also. So yeah, we only have 10 minutes of our class time left here. I'm just checking if anyone is having any queries, so please, the chat box is open. So if anyone wants to join the Google Meet also, you can join here. And this is the program, you can just have a look at the program. I'll just display the program for you guys. The final program is this one. So if anyone has any queries, please let me know here in the chat box. So I'll be happy. I guess it is visible. So it's not visible. So if anyone has any queries, please let me know. I'll just can hear and answer your. So last 10 minutes Q&A time. I'm just looking for queries in the chat box. So if anyone have any queries, please let me know. Still have 5 minutes of our class time and then we can go for a break. So if there are any queries, please let me know. If you are finding any difficulty with the Python programming, if I want to change the speed of my thing, I want to know the feedback also. If I'm just open if anyone wants to give feedback according to their like whatever the issues are there. I would like to know your valuable feedback for my method of like taking the sessions. So yeah, the chat box will be open, and if anyone have any queries, please let me know in the chat box. If there are no feedback, if there is no feedback also, it's fine. Please let me know in the chat box, yes or no, and that is also fine. So please. 4 minutes left in our session, so if anyone have queries, please let me know in the chat box. And we're gonna take a break for 15 minutes, and the next class will be started in by 10:45. So I'm gonna wait for 1 more minute and then I'll put it in break. Thank you for your time today. So we have a great session covering 3 topics. So I guess this is a good progress. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our session. Very good morning. Welcome back to our new session, Cloud Computing. So, how many of you completed your presentations? Yesterday we discussed something presentations on cloud services. So, anyone of you done doing presentations? If yes, we'll do one thing. We'll complete our topics and we'll move to the presentations. First, let me know how many of you completed so that I can plan accordingly. I'll be waiting for 2 to 3 minutes so that once you confirm that how many of you completed with your presentations and ready for presentation, so I'll plan accordingly and I'll complete the topic. No one completed your presentation? Should I start today's lecture? So, or anyone completed? Ready to present? Okay, so I don't think no one done with that. So today I'll just brief about what we have done in the last classes, and then we'll move on to something called virtualization. Okay, before going to that, we have completed something called ethical considerations. Yes, when we are using the cloud service, how to be a responsible person, or when someone is providing a cloud service, how they should be a responsible cloud provider. So with this we started something called are we a cloud users or not. So I gave some examples. If you have any of these like Gmails, Yahoo or iClouds or any Instagram, WhatsApp accounts, everything, so these all things are stored in the cloud. So if you are using these things, we'll consider as a cloud computing. Yes. So with this understanding we move forward and we discuss something called ethical rules of cloud computing. What are the ethical rules we need to follow when we are using cloud? So these ethical considerations, there are few ethical responsibilities, rules which are taken care by the cloud user, and there are few responsibilities which have to provided by the cloud service provider. And there are few responsibilities which are shared responsibilities. So we discussed that. So when we go for the confidentiality of information, so this confidentiality of information should be taken care by us as well as cloud providers. So we have to keep our whatever the data we stored in the cloud confidential, and whenever we are storing our data in the cloud provider also need to take responsibility of keeping our data confidential, that not to share with anyone else. And we also have a safekeeping our properties. So safekeeping our properties will be given to their side, because when we are storing there, that's their responsibility, that they should keep our property safe, they should keep our data safe, that no one can access, only the authorized people can access. And we discussed something called data transfer and data saving in the cloud. Yes, so we have multiple data centers. For every cloud provider will have multiple data centers. In every data centers we have multiple servers. For on top of the servers we have something called hypervisors. On top of hypervisors we have something called virtual machines. So we have multiple virtual machines which are working on the one hardware system. On top of virtual machines, we use something called softwares, where multiple cloud applications are access to data centers to retrieve data or to upload data or to use others platform or service. So we discuss something whenever we store our application cloud data, cloud service, we use cloud service with this application. Whenever we use this application will be stored in some data centers, not one data center, it will be stored in more than one data center. So whenever we are storing our data in multiple data centers, let's say for example this cloud app 3, I hope you are able to see your screen. So this cloud app 3, for example, it is a GeoCinema. So whenever the GeoCinema is stored in the cloud, let's say nowadays the IPL is streaming on the GeoCinemas. So when before the IPL match starts, only let's say for example 1000 users are using this GeoCinema. So in this cloud center, data center, there is only space to use 1000 users. Okay. So when the match once started, the users increases. Yes. Once the user increases, there is no space to access your application from this data center. So that is the reason this app also stored in other data center. If this is full, the users will able to access the application or app from other data center. So that is the reason most of the people deploy their applications in the cloud, which gives the same performance, increasing the users or decreasing the users. We also discussed something called why the most of the people are going for the cloud services. So why? Because for example, if you take these applications, so these are the things why we go for the cloud services, because there is a more security when we use cloud. The application performance will be same. It might be 1000 users, it might be 1 lakh users, it might be 1 million users. The performance of the application will not change, because they are giving multiple data centers, and how much amount of data required for the application, they are giving the data or the storage to run the application. So that is the reason we go for the performance and availability. So when we are using the application, when we are deploying some, or when we are using some app, or when we are deploying some information to our data centers, let's say when we are using our local data centers or local servers, the data center of local servers will be fixed. So once the storage is out of storage, there will be no availability to update the application or to store our data. So whereas in the cloud, if one data center is full, we have availability of other data center to run our application or to store our data. In that way, we have many other performances or many other things why we go for cloud. Let's say in the last one, not enough major suppliers yet, and we have bringing backup in-house may be difficult. So these two things, let's say when we are saving our data in our local data centers, if that data center is crashed, so it is very difficult to get our data back, because we don't have backup. In case when we are storing our data in the cloud servers, if one data is crashed, one center is crashed, we have one more data center to get our data. It means we have a backup there. Wherein in-house, it is very difficult to get a backup with our personal data centers. So that is the reason we use cloud. And with this knowledge, now today we are going to start our new topic called virtualization. So any doubts still here? You can respond in the chat. Any doubts still here? If you don't have any doubts, so we'll move forward. Without understanding this topic you can't understand the next topic. So if you have any doubts or you need some clarification about these things, please put it in the chat. We'll clarify that and we'll move forward for the other session. Yes, I'll be waiting for 1 minute, so you can put your queries forward. I can clarify your queries. I hope all clear about this, why we go for cloud, or why we use cloud, how the data centers are designed, everything you're clear? If it is clear, we'll move forward. I'll just wait for 1 minute. I'll open something else. So if you have any doubts, please put forward. Yes, no doubts. Can we move forward? Okay. So today topic is virtualization. I need answers from you. What is virtualization? What is virtualization? I need answers from you. Yeah, good morning everyone once again. Any answers about virtualization? What is virtualization? Okay, imaginary images, cool. Any other things? What is virtualization? Okay. So virtualization is nothing but we use one hardware or one OS to create images or to create virtual machines of that particular hardware or application. Yes, rather than actual, we use virtual systems. For example, when we are using a system, there is a defined hardware which, for example, if we take one example, we have one system. That one system we have one TB of storage, okay, and we have 16 GB of RAM. We have 1 TB of storage, okay, and we have 16 GB of RAM. So what we can do, we can use this hardware, whatever the processor or whatever the storage, to operate multiple operating systems. To operate multiple operating systems. So to convert this physical hardware into virtualization, we use something called hypervisors. We use something called hypervisors. These hypervisors are frameworks which works as a middleware. Okay. So what these hypervisors will do, these hypervisors will divide this storage and the RAM into multiple parts, where we can use multiple operating systems on the same physical storage. I hope you clear. We use one hardware system. With the help of hypervisors, we make these things into pieces where we can work on multiple operating systems. For example, we have one desktop and one CPU. What we can do, we can either divide the storage of CPU and we can use multiple desktops, or what we can do, in the one desktop we can use more than one operating systems. I hope you clear these things. With this hardware, what we can do, either we can create different operating systems in the same desktop, or we can use different desktops with different operating systems with only one hardware system. Clear? So, how it looks like? See, virtualization is a technology that transforms hardware into a software. Virtualization allows to run multiple operating systems as virtual machines. So, let's say this bottom one is a CPU. We have storage. We have RAM. So, with this one CPU, with the help of VMwares, with the hypervisors, we can run more than one operating system. Let's say here we are running 6 operating systems on one physical device. What we are doing here, we are not using physically. We are making it a imaginary images of different operating systems. It can be done with the more than one desktop. It can also be done with the one desktop. I hope clear. Yes, any doubts here? If you have any doubts, please put it in the chat till here. Anything you are not able to understand something, so that we can clarify till here and we can move forward, because it's a very good topic which need to be very clear about this. No doubts? Okay, moving forward. So this virtual machines works on one hardware which creates multiple imaginary operating systems. So this hypervisor which works in between. So how it works means, let's say we have one hardware. Okay, we have a okay, you didn't understand, so I'll repeat it again. Okay, so we have a one hardware. Okay, this one hardware contains of 1 TB of storage and let's say 16 GB of RAM. This 16 GB we call as a processor. Okay, so this hardware, we use something called hypervisor on top of hardware. Okay, this hypervisor will work as a imaginary framework. This hypervisor what it will do, it will divide the hardware into parts. Okay, let's say we have dividing this hardware into 4 parts. So we have 1 TB, so each part will get 250 GB of storage. Okay, each part will get 250 GB of storage, and we have 16 GB of RAM, which each part will get 4 GB of RAM. So now when the hypervisor is dividing these multiple parts with this hardware, this is a physical hardware, on top of hardware we can create multiple operating systems. Okay, you know operating system. The operating system is used to run the applications, right? So to run the applications we need storage and we need processor. So when this is divided into 4 parts, this 250 GB of storage and 4 GB of RAM will be allocated to first operating system, and one more 250 GB of RAM and 250 GB of storage and 4 GB of RAM will be allocated to second operating system. The same way the storage and the processor will be allocated to the 4 operating systems. These 4 operating systems can be run simultaneously with one hardware system. This hypervisor will work as a middleware, which is a framework. Now clear? Make sure everything clear, because it needs to be very clear to move forward. I hope it's clear now. Still any doubts? Yes, Javid and Tafia, someone. So I think I clarified your doubts. Still any doubts or still anything? Yes. So hypervisors automatically comes when we are not equal parts. It is not necessary that should be equal parts. Okay. Whenever we are running virtual operating systems, that will be a manual. You can divide the parts. See, when I am using this one system, okay, I have one storage. So this storage is, and this operating system is Windows. I can also install one more operating system with the help of virtual machines. Okay, with the help of virtual machines. So that virtual machines, the storage, how much is required for the virtual operating system, that is Linux example. So that we can define how much storage and how much RAM is needed. That is not required that in 1 TB we need to give 500 GB and 500 GB. We can give 200 and 800. So this 200 will be allocated to the Linux and this 800 will be allocated to the Windows. But virtual machines, whenever we are installing it in the operating hardware, these hypervisors are required. I'll show it practically as well. For maybe tomorrow we'll have a session on this practical session. So hypervisors are mandatory whenever we are dividing our storage, hardware storage, to multiple imaginary operating systems. Clear? Is it clear? Cool. Now we'll move forward. So let's say how it looks, how architecture looks means, let's say this is one operating system. This whole thing is a one hardware and the operating system which is attached in the one desktop or one laptop, for example. So when we are not using hypervisors here, when we are not making it as a virtual machines, what it will do, the whole hardware is allocated to the same operating system. Whenever we buy Windows operating system, the storage is 1 TB and the RAM is 16 GB, for example. The whole storage of 1 TB and the RAM will be allocated to the only one operating system, that is Windows. And on top of Windows, we can use only one applications. Whereas in virtualization, what it will do, the hardware is one. We use hypervisors. Yes, we use something called hypervisors. These hypervisors will divide this hardware into two parts. Okay, let's say 1 TB, 16 GB is divided into 500, and 8 GB, 8 GB. So with this hardware, we can run one operating system, and the second part of the hardware, we can run one more operating system. So whenever we are running two operating systems, we can use multiple applications in different operating systems. I hope you clear with these two difference. Any doubts in these two differences? This is without virtualization. This is with virtualization. Clear? Any other clarifications required? Yes, any doubts, any clarifications in the differences of with virtualization operating, without virtualization operating systems? Clear, right? So moving forward, let's say these hypervisors are there. Okay, so these hypervisors are two types. Okay, these hypervisors are two types: type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor. So type 1 hypervisor is installed in the hardware, which divides the hardware into multiple operating systems. Which divides the hardware into multiple hardwares where we can use multiple operating systems. That is type 1 hypervisor. Whereas the second hypervisor will be installed in the operating system. Okay, so when we take here, the type 1 is, let's say we have a hardware. The hypervisor, type 1 hypervisor will be installed on top of the hardware, which divides this hardware into multiple parts. Okay, multiple parts can be used to run multiple operating systems. The storage is one, but the operating systems are multiple. So this is called type 1 hypervisor. Whereas second type of hypervisor is, the second type of hypervisor will be installed on top of operating systems. Whenever we install type 2 hypervisor, whenever the type 2 hypervisor is using on the OS, this type 2 hypervisor will help to use multiple applications in one operating system. I hope it clear. Again, I'll repeat it again. Type 1 hypervisor will be on top of hardware system. Okay, which divides the hardware into multiple operating systems. Whereas the type 2 hypervisor will be integrated to the operating systems, which helps the operating system to open multiple applications. To open these applications, what we required? We required the OS to open the applications, and we also required the storage. This storage will be used, which is allocated to particular operating system. Is it clear? Type 1, type 2, any doubts? I want you to keep clear about this topic. Once we go for practical tomorrow, once you are aware of these things, it is easy to follow up tomorrow practicals. So any doubts? Are you clear about type 1 and type 2 hypervisors? Or still any doubts? Yes, only one. What about others? What about others? Is it clear? Yes, what about others? Why no reply? You have any doubts? Should I move forward? Or you want something to clarify? Okay, moving forward, this virtualization of cloud. Type 1 is separating and type 2 is integrating. No, the thing is, type 1 will separate the hardware. See, this type 1 hypervisor will separate the hardwares to multiple operating systems. And this type 2 hypervisor will separate the operating systems to multiple applications. These are two layers. Type 1 is integrated on the hardware, type 2 is integrated on the operating systems. The type 1 divides the hardware, type 2 divides the operating systems. Clear? Any doubts? Okay, so we have types of virtualizations in cloud computing. So whereas moving forward, if we move forward, we have 5 types of virtualization. So in these 5 types, the first one is server. Okay, so when there is a single server for a company or for an organization, let's say one server we have 20 employees. We have one server and we have 20 employees. So one server is there and we have 20 different employees. What they can do, they can access whatever the application or whatever the information they required, okay, by using one server. This server will be accessible and it divides into multiple pieces which can access for multiple users. Basically it is nothing but one physical server is used to multiple operating systems. Okay. Okay. So that is what server is. Whereas application, let's say we have application, okay, where multiple applications will deploy in the cloud. To deploy multiple applications, we need different multiple storage spaces, everything. So this application will be divided into pieces, okay, whereas application as a service, the application will be divided into pieces, where whatever the application we are deploying or we are using, it is easy to access our application because there is a particular service or particular server or particular network, particular storage is given to our application. Whenever we use desktops, that is also called as type of virtualization. So whenever we use virtually desktops, okay, we use their virtually we are using the cloud provider desktops, which means directly we are using their hardware, their what we can say operating systems. We are also using their RAM. So whenever we are using the cloud providers operating systems or RAM or storage, that is very secure when we go for virtualization. And if we go for networking, for example, if we take example of Geo, the Geo will have only one physical network. Geo is a physical one network, right? We are using the single physical network by the multiple virtual users. Yes or no? So that is what? Network virtualization. When we go for storage, we use the cloud provider storage virtually, where we can store our all data in their servers. Like for example, if you take a Google, we have a Gmails. If we have a Gmail, we have a storage of 15 GB free. Whenever we back up our mails or whenever we keep our images or something in cloud, that storage will be physically stored in the cloud provider storage. But we are accessing the storage not physically, we are accessing the storage virtually. We can store our data, we can retrieve our data, yes, we can upload our data. But physically the storage is not visible for us, not accessible for us. We are virtually accessing the storage of cloud providers, where we can store our data. Is it clear? Any doubts? Any doubts you have? Please let me know if you have any doubts. If you don't have any doubts, we'll move forward. Okay. No doubts? Clear about types of virtualization in cloud computing? First, you have to be aware of what is virtualization. Unable to see the screen. Now is it visible? Okay, I'll make it only display so that you can see. Yes, I hope now it is visible. So once go through these types of cloud computing here. If you have any doubts from these 5 types of virtualization, so you can ask. So we'll clarify that. Once we complete these things, we'll go for Google Meet. So we'll take a few presentations in the Google Meet. So be ready with your presentations as well. Yesterday only 2 of them are completed. I think Sajida and Javed is completed, I hope. Yes. Any doubts from these 5 types of virtualization? Anyone? No doubts? If you don't have any doubts, we'll move to the presentations now. Okay, it means no doubts. You are not responding in the chat. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, I request everyone to join the Google Meet. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, please join the Google Meet. Am I audible? Or in the live of YouTube live, please join the Google Meet. Okay, we'll quickly start. Who are ready with presentation? We have 4 of them. I think Javed is completed. So who are ready with the presentation? Deepa, you are ready with presentation? Savana, Deepa. Anyone ready with presentation? Please do it fast. Just respond right. Why you are being quiet? Can everyone turn on your videos? I think only Javed is completed. Other 4 people, why you are not responding here? Have you done with your presentation or not? Tofia, you are ready? Are you ready with your presentation? Yesterday you told you will do it and you will present it today. Deepa, what about you? You are ready with your presentation? See guys, this is not fair. You have to be responsible. You have to respond in the chat, or you have to turn on your mics. We created Google Meet because it is difficult to do it in the YouTube. That is the reason we created Google Meet. But still here also you are not responding. You are not turning on your videos. What is the use of that? Yes, Zakir, you are ready? Hello, anyone there or not? Don't be quiet, yaar. You are not a students, right? Don't be quiet. Sajida, I think you have completed yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Javid also completed. Sajida is completed. Deeba, Jakir. Taufia, what about you? You told you will do it today. You asked how to do, what to do, everything yesterday. You asked about these things. You told you will do it today. Why you are not responding? Okay, what about Jakir? What is your problem? What about Patan? Kumurnisa Patan. What about you? You joined Google Meet. You have access to talk, right? Why don't you unmute yourself and talk? I feel like I'm wasting my time for these things. That is not fair. Because I want to make sure that you will learn something when you do practicals, or when you do these kind of things, exploring practically. That is the reason I'm giving these things. Cool. Tafia is presenting. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible, but there is a lot of disturbance from you, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a minute. So today I'm going to present.
You got stuck. You are not audible now. Yes, now you are audible. Go ahead, no problem.
So the productivity of this Alibaba cloud services are elastic computer services. Like here, the elastic computer services are like they are giving what we can say the need based services, like whatever the consumers want they are giving that one. Cloud enterprises network, they this one is the it is built a management between a global network that supports the communication between the data and the services. Like they are just connecting the data and the centers consumers want and the resources they have, that they are connecting each other. Objective storage services are the fully managed object storage services to store and access any amount of data from the anywhere, like anyone can access anything they whatever they want. That is a product. Next one is the always free, means if you are subscribing something, like if you are subscribing Alibaba's trial and whatever you want, so subscriber if you are the subscriber, then you can get a more we can say that offers and uh, free services also you can get. Now the last one is a global accelerator, is the provide network acceleration services for you, internet facing applications globally with the guaranteed bandwidth and high reliability you get from there. Next is pricing. Like pricing is what they are available the they are availing the EMI services, bank transfer, like UPI services, and pay by or pay when you are when you are getting that product at home. That also they are giving. Why Alibaba we here? So ecosystem and integration. Like Alibaba Cloud is deeply integrated with the Alibaba Group comprehensive ecosystem, including e-commerce, unique advantage, logistic payment solutions, and many more. The integration provides unique advantage of businesses already operating within the Alibaba ecosystem, like uh, they are having payment solutions and that all ecosystem they are having. Now cons of Alibaba's cloud, that is the disadvantage of they have the documentation. While the Alibaba cloud provides extensive documents, some users may find it less comprehensive or difficult to navigate. Like means we can say that the documentation is less in other than the others. Last one is the ethical consideration, like they are technology committee on Friday with the 6 guiding principles. They have 6 guiding principles. They design and implement an AI ethical framework with regulations and accountability mechanism covering key areas including algorithm governance and privacy protection. They are ethical, having like they are giving your privacy protections, like they are not we can say that they are not releasing your data in for the others, or they are having fully supportive system. That's it, sir. Thank you. Any questions, sir?
On this presentation?
Any doubts?
Yeah. Anyone have any doubts regarding this Alibaba clouds? At least you ask questions here. If you are not presenting, it's okay. It's up to you. But at least ask questions if someone is presenting something. Whenever you are asking questions, it makes the presenter that okay, these people are listening to my presentation. Everything Anyone have any doubts? Okay, we'll take your presentation next. Once we complete our Q&A, we'll go for the presentation of yours. Anyone, no doubts? Javed, Jakir, Sajida, Tasneem.
Actually, I joined late, so I have no questions.
Cool. No problem. Any other one? Anyone else who are been from starting?
No, sir.
Yeah. No questions? Okay. So I have questions. So tell me, you have presented something called Alibaba EMIs and bank payments. What did it mean? I don't get. Are you clear about pricing? What is mean by pricing? So the pricing is whenever we are using the
What
service.
services they are giving, that is pricing, no? So what kind of services of pricing they are giving, like banking services, transfer services, and EMIs, like you can give monthly payment or what?
Yeah, that
I
is.
think cost of that product.
Yeah, but when we are
I
going.
think pricing is the charges that we pay to use the services.
Exactly. So when we are using Alibaba services of cloud or something, how they are pricing it? What is the price? Let's say if you are using 1 TB of Alibaba cloud, how much they are pricing it if you go for subscription, if you go for on demand, if you go for pay and use. So this is what the pricing is. That is not EMI or bank transfer. How they take the fund. So what you mentioned is how they take the money you mentioned, but how much they take for what service you didn't mention. I think it's clear for you.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And one more thing, you said different services are provided by Alibaba, right? So what do you think, which is the best service provided by Alibaba?
Like delivering, sir?
Okay. On what, which service it comes under? See, delivering is a part, but the application will comes under service what they are providing. They are providing a platform where we can order something and where we are getting the things, products. So that application will comes under service, not delivering comes under service. Okay. Yes. Which service is the best service provided by Alibaba? Tell me what are the services they provide. One is application of where we open that application where we use to buy some products or something. Any other services Alibaba providing? Are they providing any storage services? Yes. Is Alibaba providing any storage services?
So I don't know.
Okay. So okay. Anyone have any questions regarding this Alibaba services? You can ask them. So she will answer for your questions. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, we'll move forward for the next presentation. Yeah, ma'am, you can present your presentation.
Me?
Yes, yes.
Can I start?
Yes, yes, start.
Okay. Actually, I'll be presenting through mobile. So if you can just tell me how do I start my presentation?
You have
It's there
click.
on my PPT in my phone itself.
Yeah, you close this
I
tab.
had started sharing screen,
Click
and then
on
what to do?
click on share screen.
Yeah,
Once you click on share screen, the screen will be visible for us.
start now. Yeah, I have started. Is
Okay.
it visible?
Yeah. Click on the
Now how?
close this tab. Close this tab. Click on middle button.
Okay.
Open your presentation.
Uh,
Yeah. Put it landscape. Yes.
is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So shall I start now?
Yes. Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, myself, Mrs. Nasreen Mirza, and I start with my cloud computing presentation. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is actually on-demand storage and computing services that are provided by various servers or companies. And top benefits, we'll discuss the benefits of cloud computing are they optimize IT cost because they eliminate the capital expense of infrastructure of buying servers. That is how it helps in cost saving. It gives us good speed because it is very quick and on demand. Whenever we need, it is available. Then there is scalability. That is, we have the data available from all over the globe. Then there is flexibility. That is, whenever and wherever we need it, it is available for us. Reliability, that is, we can rely on the data because most of the times the data which is there on these cloud computing storage is after a lot of research, it has been saved and served over there. Then there is rapid deployment. That is, we can get it easily at the click of a button. Then improved configuration and security. The data which we save on clouds are secured by various kinds of softwares and encrypted by various techniques. Then let's look at the types of cloud computing. Cloud computing has 4 different types. That is infrastructure as a service, then platform as a service, and software as a service, and lastly, serverless computing. These are the 4 types of cloud computing. And you can see that the details are also given. I've presented it through images here. Apart from these types of services, there are types of clouds also. I think cloud computing, which probably I missed this slide. There is a public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Examples of public clouds are Google, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Alibaba, and all these things that we have seen. Then private cloud examples are like, for example, Samsung Cloud. Samsung has its own cloud which provides service to only Samsung users. And then there are hybrid clouds also, which are a combination of public and private services. My case study, the topic, the cloud service that I have selected here is Microsoft Azure. History of Microsoft Azure, we know that the developers are Microsoft, and it was initially released on October 27, 2008. That was 15 years ago. Now, these are some of the images that show how a cloud service or how Microsoft actually works. You can see that there are users, this service endpoint, there are web roles, then cloud services, code and configuration. Through code and configuration, the information is stored on the cloud. And through these stages, it reaches the service endpoint. These are some of the products that Azure provides, that is business analytics, mobile services, cloud services, identity, messaging, websites, data management, site recovery, media services, and virtual machines. These are only some of the products that I have highlighted over here. There are around 200 products that Microsoft Azure provides. You can see, again, the same products are presented in different manners. Some more products like networking and VPH connectivity. Then there's Azure storage and other products, also some of the other products that have been added here. Now let's look at Azure pricing and purchasing. like there are a lot of products, and for all the products there are different kinds of pricing, and I have selected a few of them. You can see, like for example, the first type, prices for pay as you go. That is, when you're using, you only pay for whatever uh, amount of data that you're using and the time period for which you're using. You don't pay anything extra. This is the most popular method. This is the most popular pricing when it comes to usage of Amazon Azure. Sorry, not Amazon, Microsoft Azure. Where you can see some prices are given as per GB, and in dollar prices these are given, because this is the international range of prices that they have given. You can also have it like 1 year reserve, like subscription, which we call as subscription also, that the way we use for our OTTs, monthly subscription or 1 year subscription. So they have 1 year subscription system also. Then operation and data transfer services. So what are the charges for that? These are some of the charges that I have highlighted here. If you are transferring the file, if there are big files that you are transferring, then these are the charges. Then there is blob index. That is, if you go by various other services, just like downloading something. So according to the kind of bandwidth you're using, and that is the quality, high quality, low quality, medium quality, that range that we use. And also according to the data, the size of the file, these prices, they change. Now, at the end, I would like to compare Microsoft Azure with Amazon Web Services. So I've not compared it with many. I've just selected one web service, one cloud computing to compare. So what do we find? That Amazon Web Service has better interoperability in comparison with Azure. With open source communities such as Linux, Jenkins, and GitHub. On the other hand, Azure has better native integration with Microsoft technologies and tools. Why Microsoft Azure becomes very popular? Because you have an added benefit of using Microsoft other things like Office 365. You can use Microsoft PowerPoint, like MS Word, MS Excel. These are the tools that you can integrate with Azure. And this gives an added benefit. This is what makes Azure better than other cloud computing services. And finally, I would like to conclude that it is one of the best and leading cloud services, and it is used by various big businesses. And one of the case studies that I have gone through is BMW. BMW uses Microsoft Azure as a service for all its operations, for all its data storage. It's a very big company, and there's a huge amount of data that they have to store when it comes to their vehicles and their customers. So they use Microsoft Azure to manage the data that they have. And thank you for listening. So here, done with this. I hope I was audible.
Yes, ma'am. You can stop your sharing your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done. So
I'm very happy, ma'am. You did a good research, and the way you presented is superb. Absolutely superb.
Thank you, sir.
The way you started from initiating, the way you took into the deep, and the way you concluded is right. It's absolutely good. Absolutely good. I can feel that.
Thank you. It was all thanks to your guidance. You had given this guidance yesterday, what all points should be there and the way it should be there.
Yes.
So I just tried to implement your guidance into it.
Yeah, anyone can give guidance, ma'am. The thing is, what we do from ourselves, how much efforts we put, that much output it will come. Yeah, it's a good presentation. You did it very well. You covered everything what I mentioned in yesterday, or how to present things. And the clarity you have about these things are very highlighted. Yes, anyone have any doubts? Please respond in Google Meet. If you have any doubts, please ask. She is ready to answer your doubts. Yes, anyone? No doubts? All clear?
All clear then. Thank you everybody that my presentation had been clear to everybody.
Yeah, the way you explained is good, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I have few questions.
Yeah, please.
So, do you have any idea what Microsoft Azure cloud is made for? What is a good service the Azure is providing nowadays?
The best service that Azure provides is about data management and a combination of their tools and applications.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is what is the research when I conducted. I got that particular information is that they are like best when it comes to combining their tools along with your data and storing it. And they also, since they have a big platform, so it is always safe to have your documents with them. So even the disaster management, what you can say that sometimes what happens is that my device may have a problem, and it happens not sometimes. In fact, it happens with most of us that we lose our data. And Microsoft is always a secure server where you can always retrieve it very easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's say when we go for other cloud services, they also have their own tools and these things where the cloud is providing, right? If you take a Google or if you take a IBM or any other clouds, so they are
Yeah.
also providing their own tools which is used in the cloud. So how can we ensure that Microsoft is better than other tools?
Pricing wise, Microsoft is very cost effective.
Mm-hmm. Did you
Like
did you compare any service costing with the Microsoft?
yeah, I compared it with Amazon Web Service only. So I found that Microsoft was cheaper as compared to Amazon.
But you didn't mention in the presentation that.
Yeah, that I didn't mention in the presentation.
Yeah.
In fact, I missed even that types of cloud computing point also in my presentation.
It's okay.
That
It's
public
okay.
and
That is not a necessary thing because the presentation whole is about telling the cloud service by taking one cloud provider, what are the
yeah,
services they are providing, what is the cost, and comparing with the other cloud providers. Yes?
yeah.
Okay. Any other doubts from anyone else? No doubts? Everything clear? Are you sure?
Yes, sir, no doubts.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else ready to present? Anyone else? Zakir, Tasneem, Rida, anyone? Here, 4 members are completed. Javed, Sajida, Nasreen, and Tawfia. These 4 are completed. Any other 4? Anyone ready from other 4? We got a lot of time, right? You people are not even responding in the chat or somewhere. Okay, anything regarding the topic? Any doubts regarding the topic, what we have done today? I'll share my topic. Yes, anything regarding this topic? Anyone have any doubts? I hope it is visible. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, it is visible. Virtualization. BMW
Everyone, welcome back to the class. Can I get some response? Okay, yesterday we talked about Ethereum, right? So what is Ethereum, how Ethereum works, and what contribution Ethereum does to the blockchain, and why it is the second most popular one after Bitcoin, right? In which every other details regarding to Bitcoin. So till now we have taken notes about what is blockchain, how the blockchain is useful, why it was invented actually, what is the purpose of blockchain, what are the applications of blockchain, how it is helping us in our real world, etc. Now let's get deep into that and let's see how the security inside blockchain works. So we know cryptographic, what is cryptography, right? So yeah, today we are going to see the following topics: what is cryptographic primitives, types of cryptographic primitives. In that we have keyless, symmetric primitives, asymmetric primitives, and why we need cryptographic primitives. Okay, good afternoon, Javed. So yeah, okay. So basically, what is cryptographic primitives? A cryptographic primitive refers to a fundamental building block or algorithm of used cryptography. These primitives serves as the foundation for constructing more complex cryptographic systems and protocols. See, whenever we are building these type of things, the first thing which we consider is security, right? Because doing any transactions is not a small thing. It's not a small thing. We need some high level of security to do these type of things. So cryptographic primitives provide us that base for us, like how the model should be created, what are the things which we need to develop all these. Okay, see, we have different types of primitives as I said before. So what are the use of those and how can we use that in our model? Okay, that is purely developed by cryptographic primitives. They are also used to design our protocols. What is a protocols? What is a protocol? A set of rules, like how we need to do, what we need to do, how it works, and everything. Right? So for developing these type of protocols also, we need cryptographic primitives. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna turn off my video because it's blocking the information, right? So in cryptographic primitives we have three types: keyless primitives, symmetric primitives, and asymmetric primitives. What are keyless primitives? Keyless primitives refer to cryptographic primitives that operate without the need of secret keys. See, in cryptography we deal with keys, am I right? So what happens here is, here we don't need any keys. Instead of keys, there are some other methods by which we can provide the security and everything. Okay, though that is known as keyless primitives. What is symmetric primitive? Symmetric primitive guys. Yeah. So yes, till now we were talking about hash functions. Do anyone has any doubts regarding hash functions? Or if we have not heard about hash functions, please respond in the chat box. I will try to repeat hash functions again. Okay, in hash functions we technically have three things. Those are the first one goes like pre-image, We were facing some network issues. So yeah, these three, the pre-image resistance, second pre-image resistance, and collision resistance, these are the three main factors of how our hash function is being used. Okay,
We were facing some network issues.
so
So yeah,
now if anyone
three
has any doubts,
resistance,
please tell me. Please respond in the chat box.
collision resistance.
If not, I will explain it once again.
These are the three main factors of how our hash function is being used.
Pre-image resistance is nothing but
we were facing some network issues. So yeah,
now we have
these
one
three
has
pre-
special
resistance
text here
please
which
tell
needs
me.
to be please respond in the chat box to the
Collision
receiver. If not,
resistance. I will explain it
and
once again.
what
These
does
are
the
the
hash
three
function
main
does
factors
is
of how
it
our hash
changes this
function
into a
is being used.
pictorial form,
Pre-image
which
resistance is nothing
like
but we were facing some network issues.
I want to send a
So yeah,
once
we
again.
have these
So yeah,
three,
I want to
special
send a
text
message
here.
like
Which needs to be
hi to the
receiver.
Then what does this pre-image
What is the
resistance
hash
does?
function does?
It is transforms this hi
changes this
into some picture,
a pictorial form.
okay, and that picture will
I
be
want to send a
will be shared to the
I want to send a message
receiver. Hi. So if
Receiver.
anyone
Then what does this
interpreting that
what is the
message
hash
does
function does?
will see this
Transforms
as a
this
picture.
hi,
He doesn't know that
changes
there
this
is some
picture,
information
pictorial form,
which
okay,
is hiding
and
inside of that picture. Right, will be shared. So there won't be any problem of data leak and anything. So when the receiver receive this, will see this. He gets to know. He doesn't know that he gets to know that information. There is some hidden one, and he tried to inside of that decrypt that picture. Let's suppose there is a man over here. Data leak and anything. Okay. So the hi message will be secretly inscribed inside of this picture. That is how hash function helps us decrypt that. Okay. And now this let's suppose picture will be sent to the receiver. Data leak and anything. Okay. So the hi message will be secretly inscribed inside of this picture. That is how hash function helps us decrypt that. Okay. And now this let's suppose picture will be sent to the receiver. Data leak and anything. Okay. So the hi message will be secretly inscribed inside of this picture. That is how hash function helps us decrypt that. Okay. And now this let's suppose picture will be sent to the receiver. Data leak and anything. Okay. So the hi message will be secretly inscribed inside of this picture. That is how So yeah guys, we are back again. So we were discussing about hash functions, right? In hash functions, so yeah, in hash functions we technically have three types. One is pre-image resistance, okay, and the second one is second pre-image resistance, and the third one is collision resistance. Okay, what does pre-image resistance does and how is it useful for us using hash function is, see, hi is the message which I wanna deliver to my friend. Okay, so what I will do, using pre-image resistance, this text will be converted into a unpredictable image like a human, and whenever we try to decode this human, then only our original message will be displayed at the receiver side. Okay, so whenever if any hacker or any third party person will try to interpret this message, then he will get only a photo or an image, but he won't understand what is the image, what information that image contains, right? That is how the pre-image resistance helps us. So this sender sends some image which contains a secret message, and the receiver using then at the receiver end the image will decrypt and the original message will be popped up. That is how this pre-image technically works. Am I clear, guys? So the second one is second pre-image. Now let's suppose the person, the hacker or anyone, the person or hacker, anyone has finally decoded that message, that photo or a picture. Then what we can do is we will then apply the second pre-image resistance. That is, see, technically this is the converted image, right? Cryptographic image which contains the message hi, right? Whenever I am using second image resistance, this will also be converted. A extra layer will be added. So if the hacker also tries to like clear one level, he gets this picture. Then he thinks only that picture is being sended, right? So it simply means that we are adding another layer of security for the pre-existing image. That is known as second pre-image. Second pre-image resistance is also known as weak collision resistance. Okay, the technical method to showcase this is let x be the input, y be the output, and as usual h will be the hash function, and Let introduce a new member, message M. So it states that hash of so the technical or the derivative of how we can say about this is hash of m of h of m is equals to hash of x of h of x. It means that at the what is the first one, hash of, okay, let's go by layer. First one is hash of m. It means that this one will be, sorry, this one will be hashed, this message, and again this message will be double hashed. As we can see, first this h of m will be hashed. After that, this whole the already hashed h of m will be hashed once again. Am I clear? And this total will be equal to the first hash of x, that is the input, and that input will also be double hashed. Understood, guys? It is nothing but, to be more precise and clear, we are just double hashing here. This is the first hash of my message hi, and now this will be hashed into another one. Like let us take a circle. Okay, so what is the process which we have taken is the hi message will be converted into a human, and now the human will be converted into a circle. It's not clear that it should be human or circle only. It can be anything. Basically, we are trying to say that the message will be converted into a pictorial form where the information is inscribed or hidden into it, and the already hidden one will be hashed once again. Am I clear? This is second pre-image resistance. The symmetric primitives and asymmetric primitives will be discussed tomorrow. Okay, this is let's wrap it up today, as there was too much of network issue for us. Tomorrow I am going to revise this concept once again. Thank you, guys. I am wrapping up.